Have you ever seen a man cry because he couldn't afford a loaf of bread? I have. And that man was me. It was a cloudy morning. I was standing in front of a bakery, holding a few sweaty coins in the palm of my hand. I was 20 cents short. 20 cents between me and a decent breakfast. After 2 days with nothing but water and stale rice. I asked. I begged. The cashier looked at me with disgust. Told me to get a job. I felt invisible. Filthy. And when I walked out of there, my throat burned. But I couldn't tell if it was from hunger or rage. On that sidewalk, with an empty stomach and a bleeding heart, I made a promise to myself. I would never feel that way again. But what I didn't know is that this promise can't be kept with a job, or a degree, or luck. It's only kept with pain, with decisions, and with a journey that breaks every part of who you think you are. This is the story no one wants to hear. Because it's not glamorous. There's no magic formula and no happy ending guaranteed. But if you can handle it, I'll tell you how I went from minimum wage to financial freedom at 24. And more importantly, how you can do the same. I wasn't born poor. I was born in a hole. My father left before I said my first words. My mother cleaned 3 houses a day. We split 2 eggs among 4 people. I learned early that the world owed me nothing. At 16, my first job was cleaning bathrooms in a restaurant that stank of grease and humiliation. At 18, I got into a cheap college with a scholarship that barely covered the bus fare. I worked at night, studied during the day, slept between classes, face down on a library desk, and even then, everything I earned barely paid the rent for my moldy little room. I watched classmates post vacation pics, show off new iPhones, party every weekend. And me? I just wanted to stop counting coins to buy laundry detergent. But something started growing inside me. A restlessness, a disgust for living that way, a sacred anger. That's when I began studying something no one taught me. Money, not finance. Money. It's psychology, how it moves, how it reacts to fear and to respect. I'd read late at night, watch YouTube videos in secret at work, test small ideas, selling candy, freelancing, running ads. Most of the time, I failed. But each time, I learned something, and I kept going. The first month I earned more than my job was with a digital product I sold using a messy ad and a simple PDF. $700. I cried, not because it was a lot, but because it was mine. That's when I saw a crack in the system and realized ordinary people could use it. But it wasn't easy. Because that crack comes with a price, self-responsibility. There's no boss to blame, no colleague to share the weight. If you fail, it's on you. If you disappear, no one misses you. If you quit, no one's coming to get you. That's why most people stay poor. It's more comfortable to blame the government, the family, bad luck. But I chose to pay the price. Started waking up at 4 a.m., read over 50 books in a year, reinvested every cent I made, and the higher I climbed, the lonelier it got. I remember the moment I made my first $10,000 in a month, played a song about overcoming struggles, screamed alone in my room. But you know what happened next? I turned everything off, sat down, and cried. Because there was no one to celebrate with me. No one who had seen me get up at 4 a.m. for months. No one who knew how much that money had cost me. And in that silence, I understood something brutal. Financial freedom is a prison if you're not emotionally prepared. It demands maturity, vision, purpose. Because if you don't have that, you'll get lost. And many do. They win, they spend, they lose, and end up back at zero. I almost became one of them. What nearly destroyed me wasn't poverty, it was urgency. I remember when I started making my first $500 online. I felt invincible, spent it all, got excited, started buying expensive courses, investing in things I didn't understand. It was like I had superpowers. And in my impulsiveness, I thought nothing could go wrong. But it did. In 3 weeks, I lost everything I'd built in 6 months. One bad ad, one failed campaign, one maxed out credit card. I was back in the dark. Again, with more debt than before. And that night, lying on the cold floor of my room, something inside me broke. For the first time, I thought about giving up. Not because I was weak, but because I was ashamed. Ashamed of fooling myself. Ashamed of believing I was different. But it was on that floor that I learned something that changed how I live. Urgency is the biggest saboteur of freedom. Because when you try to run before you learn to walk, the fall doesn't teach you, it paralyzes you. After that mistake, I stopped running, started building like I was planting a tree, 1 inch a day, 1 root at a time. And the slower I went, the stronger it all became. If you think you'll reach financial freedom in 3 months with a magic formula or a guru course, stop now. Because what you'll find isn't freedom. It's frustration. True freedom takes the patience of a monk and the discipline of a warrior. There's a hidden reason most people never reach financial freedom, and it has nothing to do with intelligence, luck, or opportunity. It has to do with your emotional relationship with money. Since childhood, we're told money is scarce, that it's dirty, that rich people probably did something bad. And even when we want to prosper, deep down, our mind sabotages us because it believes being rich is being selfish, or that having more means taking from someone else. It took me years to understand that. I made money, but always found a way to lose it. Every time. It was like my subconscious whispered, "You don't deserve this." And only when I sat with myself, wrote down every belief I had, and started reprogramming it day by day, did things truly begin to change. Financial freedom doesn't start with a new job. It starts with a new identity. You don't become free when you earn more. You become free when you stop sabotaging everything you build. Today, I see money as an extension of who I am, not as a trophy, but as a tool. Not something to fear, but something I've learned to respect. If you want freedom, start by healing your relationship with money. Because as long as your mind sees it as the enemy, it will never want to stay close to you. But hear this clearly. Financial freedom sounds sexy, but it's lonely, brutal, and terrifying. Because it demands that you stop blaming the world and start building your own. It's not about earning a lot. It's about spending little, investing wisely, and protecting what you build. It's not about being a millionaire. It's about having a choice. The choice to say no, to stop when you want, to live where you want, to work because you love it, not because you need it. And that has no price. If you made it this far, it's because something touched you. Maybe in a place you can't even explain. And maybe it's because you're tired. Tired of surviving. Tired of waiting. Tired of pretending everything's fine when it's not. So let me tell you, you can change this, but only if you decide you will no longer trade your freedom for your laziness, or your procrastination, or your self-sabotage. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to be willing to pay the price, and I promise you, it's worth every second. Now tell me, do you believe this really happened? Or better yet, do you have the courage to start your own story? Subscribe to this channel, but only if you're never going back to who you were before this video.